Well, thank you, President Frederickson, for that very, very kind introduction. And I extend my greetings to one and all gathered here on this momentous day in your lives. But greetings especially to you, the graduates of the class of 2026. Now, it was a little less than 2 months ago that I received a call from President Frederickson asking me to be your commencement speaker at this morning's ceremony. Now, the truth is, I missed his first call. I was in class teaching, and my phone was back in my office. But President Frederickson was kind enough to leave me a voice message, letting me know that he had something very, very important to share with me. And right away, that was a cause for concern. Because you see, as you have heard, I have been associated with this university for a very, very long time, over 50 years. Nobody went, oh, that usually happens in class when I say that, 50 years. It all started when I was a student here back in the early 70s. It was followed by a number of years as a loyal and active alumnus, and then for the last 32 years as a member of our faculty. And in all that time, I have never, ever received a call from this president or any other, letting me know that he had something important to share with me. Now, when we did connect later in the day, he let me know that he was inviting me to be with you this morning. Now that was a cause for even deeper concern. Because, as you probably are aware, it is not the custom at our institution or others for faculty members to give commencement addresses. More often, speakers are famous and accomplished persons, important political figures, major benefactors of the institution, notable people from the arts or entertainment or sports, and I am none of the above. What I am is a very happy and grateful member of the faculty of the institution that will shortly award you your degrees. Now, as that great philosopher Popeye the Sailor Man used to say, I am what I am, and that's all that I am. So, if you were expecting Bad Bunny or Aaron Judge, go Yankees. So if you were expecting either one of those gentlemen, you have my apologies. Now, as I thought about what to say this morning, I recalled some advice I received from my late father many years ago. My dad had been educated by Jesuit priests at Fordham University. And back then, all students, regardless of their majors, were schooled in the art of rhetoric or communication. And my father's advice was fairly simple. He told me that if and when you were asked to say something to a group of people, proceed as follows. Say 3 things that people might actually remember. Say them clearly. Say them briefly. And then just sit down. So this morning I will be following my father's advice. But that does beg the question, what are those 3 things that I hope you might actually remember? And the truth is that they are pretty simple and straightforward. They're not at all profound, and it's quite likely that you have heard them before. And let me be clear about one thing. I offer them to you graduates not as advice. I gave up offering gratuitous advice a long time ago. I've learned that such advice is seldom welcome and even less often followed. My thoughts are offered more by way of suggestions. Suggestions from one charger from one generation to another generation of Charger graduates. And my hope all the way along is that they might make the road ahead of you a little less bumpy, a little bit more fulfilling, and maybe even the source of joy and satisfaction in your lives. The three things: number one, be grateful. Number two, be bold. Number three, be generous. Now, I suppose we could leave it at that and just move on, but let me say a little bit about each. Be grateful. As you sit there patiently waiting for all the speeches to be over, so you can make your way up to the stage to finally get the degree for which you have worked so hard, I urge you to take a moment to think how fortunate you are. Now, I know that your degree will have your name on it. You worked hard for it, and you deserve it. But just think about all the people who have helped get you where you are today. Parents and grandparents, siblings, significant others, teachers, coaches, friends, and so many others. If you haven't thanked them already, take the time very soon, like today or tomorrow, to let them know how grateful you are for how they have helped you along the way. And I mean a real thank you, not a cheesy text. Call them, visit them, drop them a line, reach out to them in some meaningful way to let them know how much you appreciate what they have done for you. Because I can tell you from experience, it means so much more than you might realize. 50 years out from my own graduation from UNH, I am still grateful for what UNH has done and continues to do for me. I came to UNH after something of a false start at another school. And what I found is what I hope you have found as well. People who really, really cared about me. People who wanted to challenge me. People who wanted to help me think about possibilities I would never, ever have considered on my own. And so, graduates, be grateful for the opportunities that you have been provided. Be bold. I have very few regrets in my life, but one of them is that I have never been particularly bold in any of my life choices. Now, thanks to some very, very good fortune, thanks to a wonderful and loving wife and daughter, and the decades-long support of this institution, I have been able to cobble together richly satisfying vocations in public service, teaching, and the ministry. But my humble suggestion is that you be more daring than I have been. Because the reality is that the world into which you now walk will demand nothing less. The rules of professional engagement and personal commitment are being rewritten as we speak. And it's not just AI. It's not just the 24/7 news cycle or even the fearsome developments in the world order. It is just that so much is in flux in our time. And of course, students of history will tell us that this is the way it always has been. But this is our time. This is your time. And for all of us, the questioning of our institutions and so much of what we think we know is being called into question. You will simply have to be bold, be explorers to flourish in your time and place. And you might question yourself and say, well, that's easy for that old guy up there to say this. You might doubt yourself. But remember what Shakespeare says about doubts. He tells us our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. And so, graduates, be bold. And finally, be generous. Very shortly, you, the graduates of the class of 2026, will be awarded your degrees. And when President Frederickson does this, he will use the classic formula. You will be admitted to the rights, privileges, and responsibilities of educated women and men. Now, your rights and your privileges are fairly evident. Your responsibilities may be less so. But certainly among them are the responsibilities that you have to the complicated world into which you now move. Sitting there, you may not realize it, but the world needs you. Now more than ever, it needs your enthusiasm, your creativity, your capacity for sorting through the cynical and discordant voices that ring in all of our ears. And these are voices that none of us can avoid hearing. But there are other voices. Listen to your better angels. Or as the old Irish prayer says so well, tune your souls to the music of heaven. Be generous with your time and with your talents, and when your circumstances allow it, with your material resources. Get connected. Become engaged with needs beyond your own, and don't put it off. Start right away. You will never, ever regret it. It will enrich your lives as much or even more than the people you serve. Be grateful. Be bold. Be generous. Now, as I was preparing these remarks, I consulted what has become the sacred oracle in our time, or what in the eyes of many is the ultimate authority of our time. And by that, I mean ChatGPT. Oh, you've heard of it. Now, just to be clear, I inquired not about the content of my remarks. For better or for worse, that's all me. I just wanted to know what would be the ideal word count for a commencement address. And ChatGPT informed me that the sweet spot was about 1,500 words. Right now, I'm at 1,475. So I better wrap this thing up. And actually, all that remains to be done is to take this opportunity on behalf of my friends and colleagues on the faculty and the staff and all who work to make our university the special place that it is, to extend to you, the class of 2026, our best wishes, our gratitude for all you have meant to our institution, your alma mater. Simply stated, we are a better place because you have been with us. And always remember, tune your souls to the music of heaven. Congratulations, class of 2026. You've done it. May God speed you on your way.
You did that without flipping the pages? Thank you, Marty, for your wonderful remarks and profound advice. You truly are a University of New Haven treasure, and we're grateful to have you with us today to help celebrate our newest graduates. Before we present Professor O'Connor with an honorary degree, I'd like to make a special announcement. The Stevens Heights Volunteer Engine and Hose Company, number 5, a West Haven-based nonprofit, has made a generous philanthropic donation to establish the Martin J. O'Connor Stevens Heights Engine Company number 5 Fire Science Endowed Scholarship Fund. This fund will support deserving students who will follow in Marty's footsteps in pursuing careers in the fire science. I'd like to thank the trustees of the Stevens Heights Engine Company number 5 for their generosity and for honoring Marty in this most meaningful way. So please help me applaud. We will now formally present Marty an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters degree.
As Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, I have the privilege of presenting Martin J. O'Connor for an honorary degree. The citation reads as follows: Martin J. O'Connor, passionate educator, dedicated public servant, thoughtful heart and soul of our Charter community. Described by a colleague as one of the most ethical people I have ever worked with, you are the true personification of a life dedicated to serving others. After a decorated 3-decade career with the New Haven Fire Department, retiring as chief, you returned to your alma mater to help prepare generations of thoughtful, kind-hearted public servants who would follow in your footsteps. Throughout your more than 30 years as a professor, you have impacted countless lives. In teaching courses such as Tools to Live a Good Life, you have imparted in your students the true power of dedicating oneself to serving others. Truly, the conscience of the university, you have long been entrusted with delivering poignant, heartfelt, and meaningful invocations at significant university events, including Commencement. You were among the first to offer comfort and solace as the Charter community gathered on the evening of September 11, 2001, and you have been an uplifting presence during times of grief. Martin J. O'Connor, for your unwavering devotion to your students and our Charter community, for embodying the transformative impact of giving back, and for exemplifying humility and empathy and instilling these values in others, the University of New Haven is proud to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Martin J. O'Connor, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. Congratulations.